taking three.
Going for the St. Louis now.
Oh no!
Son of a bitch.
You get your two?
Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course. And today I've got a battle on Hotspot, and I am grouped up with NGA members as well. We're facing off against NGA members. So on my team, I'm with Trucker and Dorge. Trucker is in Hatsuharu, and Dorge is in the Polish Destroyer. On the enemy team, we've got Darth Luna and Razio. They are both in Kievs. And then there is also Fuzz over there, and he's in a Mahan. So, you know, you can tell right away on Hotspot, right, that this is not the 3-cap zone Hotspot, not Domination. Or, well, whatever it's called, I'm not sure. But anyway, there's only 2 bases to cap. So basically, I'm not too concerned in this type of game mode, not too concerned about, you know, trying to take 2 different points on the map right at the beginning or setting myself up for that. What I'm looking to do mostly in this sort of situation is to group up with the other guys, depending on where I am and, you know, where they spawned and whatnot, right? If I'm with the larger forces, then maybe not. Maybe, hopefully, they'll come to us. And that's the idea anyway. That was my plan, because you'll notice, I mean, with Dorge and Trucker, they're both in destroyers. It's not necessarily a good idea for me as a cruiser to follow along behind them. I'm going to get spotted a lot quicker than they are, obviously. Might just get focused down right at the beginning, right? And I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to fall into that sort of trap, I guess. So that's why I'm kind of going over here, but talking and looking, I mean, like, look at the allies behind me. They're kind of going all down there as well. And Trucker and Dorge, I mean, they're great players. So, I mean, and they've got, I mean, the Hatsuharu is a great ship. And the Polish Destroyer is actually a really nice premium tier 7 ship. If anyone managed to get themselves one of those while they were on sale, yeah, that's, you know, not a bad destroyer at all. Definitely better than a Sims, I would say, anyway. But yeah, I mean, they're good players, so I get confidence in them, right? There's another destroyer down there. They've got some support behind them, so okay, all right. I can head over there. Now, up pops, I think that's Razio right there in his Kiev, so all right. Put a few shots in. I already had high explosive loaded and ready to go, right? I mean, notice how many destroyers there are on the enemy ship. Obviously, the first thing that I'm going to come across is going to be most likely a destroyer. Want to have high explosive loaded up, ready to go, so, you know, no real thought on that one. So I'm sort of just pushing around now, you know, throwing that whole plan out of grouping up with the enemies over there on the west side, threw that plan out the window. No, I'm going to stick with these guys. We're going to go down the east here. I'm going to help support Trucker and Dorge and my other allies around. Just taking a look at other enemies that are about, you know, we definitely know that there is a destroyer in here. I mean, it's Razio in his Kiev. Now, Razio is an excellent player, so you really got to be careful. You don't just want to go in there. You will die. We've got some more enemies coming around the corner here as well. Need to take a look at everything right as it's happening, as best you can, obviously. Now, Razio's pushing into the middle over there, so okay, all right. Not too concerned. You'll notice, luckily, our battleship here is right with us, so I can help screen him against Razio if need be. And then just continuing to push south down here as well. I thought I could get shots off at Razio, but no, there's a mountain, and I mean, that's just right. I just want to get shots off. Trucker and Dorge over there. I'm not, you know, 100% sure what happened, but there was literally a complete breakdown in something, and they just started ramming each other. It was hilarious while it was happening. Awesome to see. Especially considering they managed to pull it off anyway, right? So there they are there. They're doing their thing over there, and they're laughing their away, and I don't know what they're laughing at this point. I'm just trying to stay focused on the enemy ship here in front of me so I don't get caught up and potentially die, right? As well, got to be careful, especially on Hotspot and at this point in the map, because you know there's always going to be destroyers basically in this little area. So as you come around this island, on your starboard side, there will be destroyers, most likely, most definitely. You got to be aware of it, and you got to be prepared for it. See, I just popped my acoustic sonar, right? Because I want to be able to detect any torpedoes that are on the way in over here. Don't want to have to deal with that. That would be tragic, especially considering I know that there should be maybe one more destroyer in here. Because if I saw Razio, Luna's probably nearby, right? And there he is there. Pops up in the Kiev, so okay, alright, just start putting shots into him right away. See if I can't get him gone. There we go, fantastic. There's my first kill. Now I do take a torpedo hit, right? So that was unfortunate, but I don't freak out, which is, I know it's surprising. I generally would have freaked out, but I didn't freak out too bad, and I managed to dodge the second spread incoming and save my repair, right? And I'm no longer flooded, I'm just cruising along. There we go, managed to take out Razio. That was fantastic as well. Good shot on my behalf. Now we're looking at 2 kills, so not too shabby there. So I'm not going to go into the middle, right? I'm still going to go down here towards the south like originally planned, because there are some cruisers over here, right? This Atlanta, I think it's Atlanta anyway, coming along. I've got high explosive, or sorry, it's a Thotgor. I've got high explosive loaded in the barrel, but, you know, queuing up the armor piercing here, because obviously going to try and get some nice citadel hits here on this guy and sink him as quick as possible. That's the idea anyway. It's always the idea, I suppose. In the meantime, though, it is a Japanese cruiser, so try not to forget that there are torpedoes on these things, right? You want to be aware of it. Generally speaking, if it's not an Thotgor, you know, if it's an Oba, Myoko, Mogami, even the Ibuki, those torpedo launchers are mounted on the stern of the ship generally, so the Japanese ships can only really fire from the stern. So if they're running away from you, or if they slow down, not doing anything, and then they turn and run, they just launch torpedoes, get the hell out of there, right? The Thotgor, I'm pretty sure the Thotgor can launch its torps midships, which gives it a bit of a wider arc, and it doesn't necessarily have to shoot from the stern all the time. But anyway, managed to get myself another kill, so now I'm up to 3 kills, so this isn't too bad. Things seem to be going fairly decently for us. We do have some enemy ships here in the background I gotta pay attention to, because you can see as well the unfortunate happenstance of taking that torpedo really is adding up, right? And I'm generally a fairly aggressive player at times, you know, depending on what ship I'm in. When I'm in the Myoko, I'm generally fairly aggressive. So I'll take hits. I don't mind taking hits. That's not a big deal for me. But, you know, again, comes back to the video I put up a few days ago, you know, making the right choices. Because if you're going to be taking hits, you need to know, you know, when, where, and how to take those hits. Otherwise, you're going to trade too much of your hit points. You're not going to become effective in the late game of the battle, which is, you know, something you generally don't want to do. You want to stick around to the end of the battle, right? It's great for all. Now, you know, sort of grouped up with the allies I have down here, and we're pushing towards the west side now, really putting pressure onto the enemy base. We have some ships back at our base able to defend it, at least stall it for now, right? Stall their advance. In the meantime, we can just push right into the enemy base here and start capping this immediately. I still have Trucker and I still have Dorge, and that's exactly what they're doing right now, right? They're in there pushing in. I mean, at this point as well, they wanted me to get a Kraken, but I didn't think it was going to happen, just because, you know, I don't have that many hit points left to be able to sustain, I would think, 2 kills, unless they were handed to me, right? I don't think I'd be able to do it. But anyway, it doesn't mean I'm going to shy away from battle. It just means I have to play a little more careful, just think about things maybe a little more, and try to maneuver around more, I guess. So taking a look at the ships in the distance, right, we can see them here. I do have high explosive loaded because I fully expected to start taking shots off at a battleship, but we can see there is an Atlanta. So okay, well, that's an Atlanta. You would want to shoot armor piercing at that. Alright, so I start loading up armor piercing, right? Here we go, because the Atlanta, if he continues going along the way that he's going, he is going to come out from behind the island, and then I'm going to be able to get some really nice shots into this guy, and hopefully just completely take him down, because the Atlanta has really poor armor, and at close in quarters with a Myoko like this, and especially in this situation where the Atlanta might not be expecting me, so he doesn't have his guns trained on me, right, using his great rate of fire to be able to take me down. One-on-one, yeah, he's probably going to take me down, but in this situation, no. So my shots go out, and you can see I played it just right as I was coming out from around the island. In go the shots, and they're really accurate as well. Blam, that was a great shot. Now if I can just get one more salvo into this guy, we can finish him off, and then we can move on to maybe something a little heavier, like a battleship, take one of those out, or at the very least help with the cap, right? So shots go out, and there we go. Managed to take out the Atlanta, 4th kill, fantastic. You can see the truckers right there. Trucker and Dorge were in here the whole time capping. This was awesome, because what it does with you when you have destroyers like this constantly capping, it doesn't matter that if I'm getting hit and my cap points are going down, their caps are still going up, right? Because they're not getting hit. The enemies don't see the ships that are actually doing the capping. Instead, they're all focused on me. Now, this can be dangerous, obviously, because if they're all focused on you, suddenly you might find yourself dead. Have to play it fairly careful, and in this situation I didn't want them to all focus on me, so I was staying fairly close in the smoke. Here comes an enemy destroyer, so there he is there. We can see allies have already put shots into him. Unfortunately, I had armor piercing loaded up instead of high explosive because I was shooting at the Atlanta. So get some nice shots into him though, but yeah, we win, battle over. That was really quick as well. But for a quick game, what are results here as well is pretty great. So, lots of money, lots of experience, which is great. I really need more money, silver that is, so I can buy my Zhao. I think I'm like, I'm not 100% sure, but it's less than 100,000 experience away from the Zhao anyway. So 278,000 credits thereabouts is always welcome. Always good to see. Moving into the next clip for the day, you can see in the Minekaze today. Now this was a battle I actually played today, January, the 9th? Yes. I just jumped in because, I wanted to play some credits. I was doing some ranked battles. So yes, ranked battles are back, obviously. We'll get some ranked battle videos here up on the channel. If you guys have any, good ranked battle games you want to send in, be sure to send in the replays. The email address is in the video comment section below, so send that on in. I'd love to take a look at it and get it added to the whole ranked battle series we have going on here as well. I myself am at rank 14 right now. It's been going fairly slow, right? There are a lot of idiots, as I'm sure you know, so trying to work with that can be really frustrating. But anyway, I'll continue to plug away at it. My goal, I guess, obviously, is to get to rank 1 this season. Don't really think it's going to happen though. Maybe just get to rank 5 again. I think that'd be nice. Anyway, we are on a fault line here, so taking a look around, I didn't really know what I wanted to do in this battle. I know that I sort of wanted to get some quick kills, and with that in mind, I figured, well, maybe I should get a little closer to the enemy here, right? Really utilize the stealth on this Minekaze. You'll notice I do have the camouflage on the ship, so that reduces the detection range, which is great. And basically my torpedoes as well, the 7-kilometer torpedoes. So what I'm going to be doing in this battle is I'm going to try to do just stealth torping at 7-kilometer range and go the whole game without getting detected, or without being detected for any significant amount of time. And it really went quite well, and that's why I sort of wanted to show it up here, because I talk about it enough in terms of Japanese destroyers and how ideally you'd want to stay hidden the entire game, or what to do when you are spotted and how to get away really quick, right? We talk about it but never really put up a visual of it. So this battle actually serves really nice for it, so that's why we're going to take a look at it. And this was also a very quick battle, by the way. So you can see with my plan of I want to get some quick kills here, do some stealth torping, see if I can't get spotted, push the detection ability here right to the limit. So I'm just charging right at this Nagato. You'll see I start turning before I get to 7 kilometers, because while you're in the turn you continue forward, and you saw that as the distance started to close. But you want to time it correctly so that when you're turning out like this, that I didn't surpass my detection distance, right? I didn't come closer than 6 kilometers to this guy, and so I'm able to turn away. He has no idea torpedoes are on their way. He never spotted me once. No one has any clue right now. And then we'll just, take a look at the Nagato, his last little breaths of life here, and it's at this point that suddenly he realizes, yeah. So 4 nice torpedo hits, Nagato is gone. That was really, really great, and I was quite surprised with it. I mean, and it really, people on the team were thanking as well, but it really sort of motivated me. Okay, all right, let's try and do that again. So I'm just going to continue straight along down here once again, right? This is being really aggressive too, and to be fair, the team I have behind me is really, really good. If I didn't have the team members behind me, and these are all just random people, I just got lucky here, but if these people weren't here in this battle, this would have went completely differently, I'm fairly sure. Kind of tragic, you know, we lost our destroyer over there, but managed to take out the enemy destroyer as well, so whatever. 1 for 1, that's good enough. AFK New York over here, right? I was tempted. I was sure tempted, I know. I was like, oh man, there's another kill for me. Yes, yes, yes. But I can see in chat, you know, forget about the AFK player. I've got this New Mexico coming up right now. I'm thinking, all right, this is great. So I fire off all torpedoes, but I do manage to get spotted right there, right? So immediately I turn. Now, sorry for the lag here. It did get a little laggy. I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, I'd start turning, but then immediately, because I was spotted, use the island as cover, right? I'm turning away from the New Mexico, then turn into the island like I'm doing now, almost like an S, basically through the water, just to increase the distance between myself and the New Mexico, and then decrease the distance between myself and the cover. Swinging back around, using the Minekaze's great reload. The whole intention here was to get another shot off the New Mexico. Managed to hit the New Mexico with 4 torpedoes, so that wasn't too bad at all. And he's going to turn back towards the, where side am I on here? Back towards the east, yes, had to think about that. And I don't actually manage to get any torpedoes off at him, because if you look, I've got this Atlanta right here, right? And the Atlanta now spots me, so this is a pretty big threat. Don't really want to have to deal with this guy, so I'm going to shoot off my torpedoes, and I popped my smoke. Now once I'm in my smoke, I'm just going to continue driving away from the Atlanta. I'm not going to come to a full stop in this situation, because it's not a situation where you know, everyone spots me or multiple ships spot me. The ships behind me can't spot me because they'd be out of my detection range anyway. I haven't fired my guns. It's just the Atlanta. I don't want the Atlanta to start firing at me with all those guns on that Atlanta, you know, just destroy me. So taking a look at our torpedoes incoming onto the Atlanta, they look pretty good. There's 1 hit. I might get another. Yeah, there we go. There's 2 hits, so that is not too bad at all. And the Atlanta is almost dead now. Fantastic. My team just has to mop it up, and that guy's gone. Excellent. Alright, so continuing to scan, see what other targets we can see. There's still the New Mexico. New Mexico is out of my range. Ideally, I'd like to pop in from behind, rather, one of these islands and maybe ambush someone with torpedoes. That would be ideal, because then I can shoot off my torpedoes at maybe point blank, ideally point blank range, turn away, and hopefully the target enemy ship won't ever be able to actually get shots into me. That would be ideal. But you'll notice too, right, I haven't been spotted very often. I think it's twice so far that I've been spotted, but immediately unspotted, right? The enemy generally, all they know is that there's a Minekaze over here on this side wreaking havoc. That's all they know. They don't generally know where I am on this side, so you can see that they're kind of staying away from this side, and this opens it up for my team behind me to come in here and take this sort of side of the map and really start pushing into the enemy base, which is phenomenal. We did take out the AFK New York. I shot off torpedoes at him, hoping to get maybe 1 hit on him before he died. Nope, team was all over that and managed to take him out. So fantastic, the AFK ship is gone, and now we just have to sort of deal with the enemies that are over here. It's at this point in the battle that I do start taking a few more chances than maybe I normally would, because I know it's going pretty well. So I've got an enemy cruiser lined up, so I start firing off torpedoes at that guy, anticipating where he's going to be when my torpedoes arrive. At least that's the plan. Again, my team, you know, we had some really good players on my team here, and look at that, just melting these ships away. So that guy's gone. Alright, don't need to worry about him. There's another enemy battleship in the background. See if I can't get some shots off on that guy. Take this guy down. I was figuring out, you know, it's in New York. By the time I get there and shoot torpedoes, he has enough hit points to survive the onslaught of my ally team. He'll still be alive. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, one of my teammates got a nice hit there on the New York. I mean, he's down to below half health. We take out the other enemy ship. Now it's just the New York remaining, so I start firing my torpedoes off at the New York, hoping that I'm going to kill him before points run out, because I think one more, we just have to kill this enemy New York, and then the enemies are going to have negative points, and we are going to win. Yes, I did say it was fast. So torpedoes are incoming towards New York, but again, he takes another big hit from one of my allies. Match over. Fantastic. But, you know, in this battle, you can really see how effective you can be in a Japanese destroyer just by paying attention to, you know, where the enemies are going, what your detection range is, and concealment range is, you know, and taking making best use of that. If you can stay hidden the whole battle, or thereabouts, right, within reason, you can just rack up torpedo hits. People will have no idea. You might not get too many kills, but you're going to do a lot of torpedo damage, and get a lot of credits and experience at the end. Anyway, that was today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Got to see a little Myoko action, followed by some destroyer action as well. Always fun to see. So if you did like today's video, hit the old like button there. Leave any comments you have for me in the video section below. Love reading those comments and responding back to them. Hit subscribe if you are not a subscriber. And as always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.